hear anything. Sucks. Yeah, I wish you could help me fix this. No. Yeah, no, it's not coming through the thing.
There's a difference between a gangbang and rape.
Oh, fuck.
I've never been that drunk before. I've never been blackout drunk. Never had a hangover. But I've been drinking since I was 21, so...
No, it is still considered rape, though. If you're sober, and she's drunk, and she says, fuck me, and you still fuck her, that's still rape. Because she's not in the mindset to be able to answer that question clearly, or be able to tell you that clearly. And since you're the sober one, you're supposed to know that.
I got it. It's kind of an interesting question. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Totally 100% agree. But what if two people are both equally drunk?
Then,
see, I don't know how that works. I don't. I've never.
Morally, just purely philosophically, I mean, like outside.
If you want to be completely safe, just don't do it.
Player is all
like, well, yeah, unfortunately, in this day and age, there's so many risks.
I mean,
if two people get drunk and they get drunk at a party and they fuck, they wake up the next morning and they're like, oh my god, did we have sex? They're like, yeah, oh shit, okay, bye.
No joke, like true story.
And all it takes is for one of them to go to the police.
Yeah, I had this happen. True story. I'm about to tell you a true story. About 5 months ago, I was with a chick. We were together for a little while. We ended up having sex. You know, shit happened. Her buddy went and told the police that I raped her. Never happened. Shit never happened.
Her friend of hers.
Our friend of hers went and told the police this. Right? Never happened. She never said it happened, but he felt, he was jealous, so he went and did that. And I almost got charged with it.
Here's the flop.
That's how fucked up in the day and age we live in. You say one thing and all of a sudden you're guilty. You're guilty.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend in high school. I had a girlfriend in high school that told me she got raped by some guy. And, late at night walking. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing late at night walking? In my head, of course, I didn't tell her that.
But can you believe that?
Well, exactly. So, of course, being in high school, the first thing said, I comforted her and I was like, all right, we got to go to the police. That's pretty obvious. Did not want to go to the police. Didn't want to do shit. And she's like, I already took a shower. I'm like, oh, so everything that could have probably proved this is now gone and out of your hands? And she's like, yeah, I just want to move on from it. And so, to make a long story short, because that goes on, and she was like, what she did was she cheated on me with her ex-boyfriend and told me that he raped her so that she could cover her own ass.
That has happened to me too. That has happened to me too.
It's like, the sad thing is that...
How does Bill Cosby get charged for being raped somebody if it happened 30 years ago and you can't be tested for this shit?
I mean, the unfortunate thing is that, I'm all for, supporting people that are victims of sexual assault. I think it's awful. But, unfortunately, the way that people are handling these situations are now completely, delegitimizes any claims that people make,
Exactly. And
they're only making it worse for the people who actually do need the help.
And there could be a girl, let's say there's a girl that's insecure about herself and whatnot, and you touch her shoulder and you're like, hey, how are you doing? And all of a sudden she runs to the cop and says, rape. This does happen. I shit you not.
Yeah, there was a case down at UC Davis. UC Davis, just like a month ago. There was a guy who lost his scholarship, lost his tuition, lost his admission to UC Davis, all because. And he got proven innocent in the court or whatever. She changed her story, didn't she? But she changed her story. Yeah, she changed her story. And now she can what's the word?
And there's no
appeal the decision that he's innocent. She can appeal it.
She doesn't get in trouble at all for lying.
No, she doesn't.
It's like
she should get the penalty that he would have gotten if he was found guilty.
I destroy your life, and guess what? I get in trouble. I don't get in trouble for it now.
Yeah, there was a kid in Michigan recently too, wasn't there? Didn't he record her? Didn't he record her? That's the only reason he got off of it. He recorded her saying that she was lying.
No, it was a text.
There was.
It was a text. that she had sent him, and it was used as evidence in court. Yeah.
There was a couple of military ones too that was like that, where the girl was just lying because he didn't let the guy.
Speaking of the military, I knew a guy who got accused of it. He got restriction. I mean, you know what that is. Restriction. He lost. I think he was E4. He got down to E3. Lost 2 months pay.
Doc 2 months pay time. Yeah, half months pay times 2.
Yep. He got proven innocent.
Wait, what?
Nothing back. Nothing back.
Didn't
get his pay back. Didn't get his nothing.
Yeah,
they'll dock your pay.
If we fuck, right? You cheat on me. I'm a girl and I don't like you. I'm gonna go say you raped me, right?
Why can't
you lose everything in life? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Either way, you lose everything in life, right? Everything. You know, you lose your job, you lose your money, you lose your, you lose everything. Turns out I was lying, right? I was lying. You lose everything in life, and I get to go on about my life. How is that fair? How is that fair?
So I totally agree with you guys, but also, like, whenever I thought about this issue, I struggle with it because I know that, like, I'm thinking, how would you enforce that? You know, somebody mentioned that if it turns out the girl is lying, then she should have to have to pay the same price that the man did. But then, how do you prove that she was lying? What if somebody actually raped her and she goes to court and then they rule the guy not guilty? Does that mean she was lying?
This is where proof needs to come in. This is where you have to have proof that their jizz was in your fucking pussy. I'm just saying, like, that's just how it works.
Got graphic.
Even if you wear condoms,
you still leave DNA. There's still DNA left behind.
DNA in there.
It's not like obviously like semen, but it's like
it's still there.
You're still leaving some juices around.
But even if you did it, like, even if like you can prove that like these two people had sex, but how do you prove that somebody raped somebody?
But how do you prove that someone raped somebody 30 years ago?
Exactly. No, you don't. That's why I agree with you guys. But the only thing I don't agree with is the idea that I think that if you're able to prove that somebody was lying, like as an obstruction of justice, like they send somebody a text, for example, and say, ha ha ha, I totally killed this guy,
That's
like,
fair.
and then I lied about it, and ha ha. Then yeah, you should be able to get jail time for that. But
well, see, and that's fair. But they should make the investigations on these things unbiased. That's another big problem too. If they would investigate, they might be able to find that evidence that she was lying.
No, you're right.
And if they can prove it, then I will agree with you.
Yeah. It's so no, it's true. Like it's so biased in the girl. Like the girl is always the innocent one. You know, the guy could have done shit. He didn't do jack shit, but they see it as an innocent girl that just got raped. So fuck that dude. I don't know him.
Yeah.
But fuck him. Fuck his morals, and
everyone wants to take the moral high ground, and it's like but it doesn't, like the Brett Kavanaugh thing. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, like I said, I live in a place where you can smoke marijuana legally, so it's obviously very liberal. So like everybody, like all my friends were like, yeah, we should literally murder Brett Kavanaugh. What a scumbag, haha. And I'm just like,
There were people that were saying when Trump got elected, people like put on their Twitter, quote, "The assassination is taking too long."
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like you need to go to fucking prison. I don't care how you feel about Donald Trump. Like, there's a lot of things that he does wrong. But in a lot of things he does right.
That's
no matter how you feel about
him,
just exactly.
You're allowed
the fact that before he even got into office, people were already impeach, and assassinate.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, they were calling him a rapist and a fucking again the same shit. You're not allowed to do that. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. I shouldn't be allowed to call you a rapist and not get in trouble for it. How is that right? How is it okay for me to call you a fucking freedom of speech, but that's still not right, though. It doesn't give you the right to discriminate somebody. You can't do that. That's illegal.
Kids that tell people to go kill themselves, you know? Do you think those people?
That's still not right.
It's still not right.
Right, it's still illegal to do that. You can't do that. I can't say go kill yourself because if you did, I can still get charged with that. I might not be 100.
There was just recently a girl that got convicted for that exact same thing.
Yeah,
but it was really extreme. It was literally her being like, she was basically harassing him, and he was depressed and saying like, I might kill myself, and she was, kind of manipulating him into it. It was sick, but it wasn't just an offhand comment like kill yourself, or anything like that. It was.
But yeah, he was being called fucking a racist and a rapist and a bunch of other. People who are saying that should be charged with discriminating on somebody. And what's it called when you mess with somebody's
defamation?
Yes, that they should be charged with that, and that is illegal. You're not allowed to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul.
Well, the same could be said for Obama. Oh, the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody was like, "Why wasn't he assassinated yet? He's black. He should have been. He should have been killed." Same shit could have been done. You know, it's like it goes both ways.
No, I know, and plus, I was just oh God, I was reading about.
Sorry.
No, I was learning about state attorneys general and how now they join like Republican or Democratic organizations depending on whether or not the attorney general, you know, on their political
showdown.
And they now state attorneys general spend a lot of time suing the government and
beat me by one.
Oh my god.
Well, it's just like the entire political spectrum right now is just so fucked up. On both sides. It's both sides.
The whole fucking system is broken. The whole goddamn... It's nothing but a business. That's what we live in, is a business. Like, it's legit. That's like back in the day.
You can only have 5 out at a time.
Alright, here's a story.
Alaska.
This beer right here, right? I'm gonna tell you something. This beer right here. I drank it back in the 60s. I got drunk. I was drunk off my ass. The cop said, "Here, I'm gonna take you home. It's okay, not a problem. Get in my car. You can pick your car up in the morning." Today, what happens if you get caught with a DUI? You get charged a shit ton of money, a crap ton. You got to pay for a machine to go into your car, which, by the way, you got to pay monthly fees on that. Everything is involved.
You know you can get. Dude. You know you can get 9 DUIs before they'll imprison you for like what 30 years? Yeah. If you go to your DMV or wherever you register your vehicle or anything, they'll have a chart. It says here's the charge for your first DUI, your second, your third, all the way down to your 9th. And I was like, after the 3rd one, you should just be fucking locked up and you should never be able to drive again. I mean, how many times does it take?
At least like be required to go to like rehab or something. Get yourself fixed.
I agree with stopping DUIs and stopping people from driving, but I also think that it's fucked up that you charge so much for it. I mean, I get it, but that goes for everything in this fucking country. Like everything's about money, dude. Everything's about money.
I agree.
It's like taxes. Where does our tax really go? Huh? Where does all of our money that we go? Where does it really go?
I know. Like,
anybody know?
All the taxes I pay on alcohol. Where does that go?
And cigarettes.
Up here, they always talk about cigarettes too. They always say that, oh yeah, we're gonna put it in to help sinners and people get to rehab. Never. We have one center. We've always had one center. Where's the new ones being built? Where's the extra
You know
support?
what happens? You know what happens? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's how it happens. Our money, our taxes, go straight to the rich people. That's how it is, man. Fuck, man. It is.
Oh, later, dude.
It's the day and age we live in.
Check.
Would it be any surprise to you guys that government launders money through the war in the Middle East?
Oh,
absolutely not.
You know what war is, right? You all know what war is. It's nothing but a money game. That's it.
It's for money.
It's all about money. And on top of that, it kills our population. You throw a bunch. That's like, you know, think about all the people that died, and it cut down the population so that way everybody else could live easy. That's how it is. You take half your people into battle, half of them lose, and guess what? You know, half your people die, but now you have more room to, you know, prosper and grow and do other things.
I went.
You know what I mean?
That's a call.
Yeah, I went on a.
On top of that, think about all the fucking technology that comes out of it. Money out of technology.
Fucking A, man. Have you ever seen the CPNVGs? They're about 85 grand a pair.
Really?
What's that?
Yeah. I never got to use them. I saw them, but I never got to use them.
Yeah.
What does that? What does that mean?
CPNVGs, they're night vision goggles that give you the widest field of view and furthest field of view that of any night vision that's out there. So instead of using your I'm sorry, I realize you can't do that with my hands. Some night vision you'll have with one eye that goes over one eyeball. Some have 2 that go straight forward. These have 2 lenses for each eye that go out that way and go out that way. I mean,
it sounds like they look ridiculous, but they
look like it makes you look like a spider, but they're badass.
Well, see, here's how I feel about the military budget. Like, I think that we need to like reform the military budget, but we don't need to spend more. We need to put the budget into different places, not where it's at right now.
Here's a question: why are we still at war with a country we've been at war with for what? How long's it been? Fucking 12 years, something like that. Something stupid.
About 30.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't know. What happened in 2000? What was it? 9/11 is when it happened. So that's why I said 12.
Well, no, we've been. I mean, Desert Storm and
it was all
Desert
about
Eagles
oil.
were in the 90s.
It was all about oil. That's what we went to war for it. Because of oil. You know, eventually we're gonna run out, and then what are we gonna do? We're gonna come up with a different way of fucking making, you know, sustainable way of driving and making energy. You know, like we should have done in the first place instead of going to war with a fucking country.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people have said, and a lot of people just say, "Oh, you're just bullshit." 9/11 literally was made to launder money for our own expense. I'm not going to go into 9/11 itself and, you know, like conspiracies of what was in the plane, but it was the fact that was made so that, I mean, it was a brutal attempt at getting a nation on your side to go to war so that you could use and fund money for shit that didn't need to be happening.
What better way to unite the country than, you know, I mean,
people knew,
awful, but
the media knew within minutes, and the government announced within hours, evil needs a face, and they said Osama bin Laden. Within a few hours, they knew who it was. Oh my God! Because if
never found
the people are going to ask, well, who was it? Or we don't know. Well, we got to find out. But they were like, no, we got exactly who it is, and we're going to go after him. So we spend, you know, we spend the next, we spend the next however many years going after this guy on this expensive manhunt, and we finally find him, and we send the most.
Like, how many years did we look for him? How many fucking years did we look for this motherfucker? We found him in the ground. Like, what the fuck? Like, the fuck?
So we find him hiding out in this compound. So we send some of the most experienced guys to go take his ass out, and the only people who apparently tackles the guy, they shoot him, grab his body, go dump him in the ocean before anyone can even actually verify has seen him, and then that team that ended up taking him out magically fucking gets shot down in a helicopter crash. So the only people who were actually there, who saw Bin Laden and saw him maybe die or maybe live, are dead.
Got a good point.
My instructor, there's two people left that were actually maybe on that op. I don't know. My master chief knew one of the guys who was on the op, and he said, yeah, Extortion 17. These guys all died. They killed 31 operators and a dog. They shot the dog down too in the helicopter.
Because the dog can talk. I'm just saying, dog can talk nowadays. They were bullshit. They didn't do shit, you know.
The what?
Tell me about those night vision goggles again.
The CPNVGs?
Yeah.
Check.
They're really advanced ones that have a really high field of view.
Yeah,
and
we couldn't find, you know, for a long time, and we have like technology.
Yes, the team that went on that operation wore those goggles.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
they can see me taking a shit in the woods, right? They can fucking zoom down with the satellite and see me in the woods taking a shit and find me for indecent exposure, but yet they can't find some dude fucking walking around eating goat out in the middle of the desert. Like, I'm just saying, like, the fuck?
I mean, I mean, you can lasso people with an infrared laser on the top of your rifle with those NVGs. You can see exactly where those people are, clear as day. But I mean, we're gonna sit here. But the way they did operate on that I mean, it was flawless.
I was waiting for the 5. What'd you have? Yeah, I didn't have shit.
One of the helicopters that, I mean, they had 2 helicopters that took the team there. One of the helicopters crashed before the op even started.
Yeah, before it even started. It's like, I mean, you know, this is the U.S. military against like.
We've got a DevGru team going in, and we crash a helicopter from a gust of wind, and they get out and they're like, "We good? Yeah, let's fucking do it."
Aren't they trained to deal with that shit though? Like in any situation?
Most operators have been through a helicopter crash.
So
we would lasso down from Chinooks. Huh?
Was this guy high on weed or something? How the fuck do you crash a goddamn helicopter? Like the fuck?
They were experimental helicopters. They weren't.
Oh well, there's your fucking problem.
Yeah. Well, the problem that if you use the traditional Black Hawk, the Black Hawk helicopter, you can hear coming from like 2 miles away. Those things go.
You hear that?
Like that motherfucker.
That motherfucker. Fuck you, Bliff.
You know a lot about military science.
Huh?
You know a lot about military science.
Yeah, I was in the Navy, so was he.
You know another thing about starting up a war is, let's say you're a small country, right? You have no money, you're going poor, you have nothing. You start a war, you get funding, you get a bunch of countries on your side, you go to war. Hell, even if you lose, you still come out of it with more than what you had. It's all about money, dude. It really is.
Yeah.
Fold.
That's it's good to bitch about shit for a day.
It does. It does. And not be criticized about it or
such a great game.
That's a call.
You know, it's great.
That's a call.
Because most people would sit here and be like, "Fuck you, you're wrong, you're a dick, go suck a fucking cow tit or some bullshit," you know. Like.
So bringing it all back to the hentai argument we had earlier.
An hour ago.
We were talking about booties. I still don't know what is a good booty.
No, we were talking about Instagrams. Yeah.
Instagram. I don't know. I wasn't here. I was going in late.
Oh yeah.
You were here. Oh no, you weren't. You came.
Apparently, I was a girl at one point. So yeah, there's that.
No, you're right. I mean, It's funny because all that stuff seems obvious when you look back on history, you know? Like there's so many examples in history of the U.S. government basically putting out propaganda, you know, and they do it, you know, for, you know, decades.
Here's a good one for you.
Or centuries, but...
Try talking about religion to somebody who's, like, really deep into religion, dude. You know what I think? I think religion is a big scam. I'm just saying, think about it.
It always has been. It was the earliest form of government. Back in Rome, it was the earliest form of government. It's all it was government.
Look,
they made the money because they made you pay money to them. So it was
let's take this stack right here. I got 2,000 chips in the stack, right? $2,000, right? Take that stack, right? Those are people. I'm going to tell those people, hey, if you do good, and you abide by the rules in this book, you're going to go to a magical place where all your dreams are going to come true. You're going to be reunited with your family, a whole bunch of other hobo mumbo bullshit, and then bam, you know, you're set for life, right? But you tell the other stack, or you tell the same stack right here, if you do bad and you sin. No, fuck you. Kiss my ass.
That's a call.
You tell that stack.
I don't have a problem with religion. If you want to believe in something, go for it.
Yeah.
But whenever you're trying to push it on other people and push your views and shit, that's what pisses me off.
Oh, okay, I got a counter.
Religion.
I got a counter for that. So, not that it doesn't have to do with the religion, but let's take a really sensitive topic nowadays: transgender and genders all around. Well, so you're trying to take an idea of your own and push it on everybody else and make them believe something that you believe.
So here's a question.
You're infringing on somebody else's rights to believe and think what they want to think.
Did you see what happened with, what's that comedian's name? He was going to host the Oscars or something?
Oh, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
No.
A tweet that he made like 7 years ago.
I'm confused with another black guy.
7 years
ago, he made a homophobic tweet.
Jesus, he's a comedian.
And they wanted him to apologize for it. But he wouldn't, because he's like, no, that was 7 years ago. That's not who I am now anyway. Who cares? And anyways,
here's my question, though. Why do you get people that say there are 50 different types of genders?
Where's my right hand?
Yeah, my right hand's down here. It's been dead for the last hour. So, I mean,
let me go switch my batteries.
Why do you get people saying there's like 50 different types of genders? I'm pretty sure if you got a dick, you're a guy, and you got a pussy, you're a female. I mean, that's how it's been for the last how many fucking years?
It's basic fucking biology.
I'm just saying, like, shit has not changed.
Well,
so.
and if you don't believe it, then you're a fucking you're transphobic, you're homophobic.
No, you're homophobic, and you should be fucking.
I mean, these days, if you're not homosexual yourself, you're a homophobe.
Okay, but here's what I think is important is if you, for example, encounter somebody who is trans, you know, and they refer to themselves like as a man, you know, even though you might think like, oh, this person was born a woman, but they identify as a man for whatever reason, like they're trans, like I still will call that person what I think they probably
I have no choice at my company. I have to.
I'm not going to be like,
trans
oh, this person is obviously trans, but I'm still going to refer to them as their previous gender. Like, that's just kind of a dick move. It's not hard to say,
I agree with you. Now, I have known people who have made the transition or whatever, or like, not made the transition, but like, you know, want to be females if they're men. I'll respect that. But the fact that I can be having a conversation, like with you, let's say that you were, you know, you wanted to be a man.
Well, let's say you had a penis.
Called you a she, and you would have gotten upset about it, which is what happens.
Yeah.
Pronouns alone, and I don't know.
Oh, I got something to add, right? So there's a person that works in my company, right? The company I work for happened to be a transgender. Now, I could not tell whether or not that was a man or a girl. I couldn't tell. Couldn't fucking tell. So I simply said, excuse me, what gender are you? In a polite way. I got sent to HR over that shit.
What the fuck else are you supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to assume and then they get mad at you over that? Like, I mean,
yeah. What do you want me to call you?
It's totally...
Just tell me so we can get the fuck on with this, because I need those TPS reports.
I mean, it's again, if you want to believe that you're a man and you're a female, go for it. I don't care. But don't push it on other people, and don't get mad at me, because I don't also believe in that.
I had to go through 5 different people, and each person told me that they were a different sex. Like, I shit you not. One guy was like, that's a dude. That's a girl. That's a dude. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? So, I asked.
Well, the fact of the matter is, like, what is there, like 90 genders?
I just, you know, at least make it obvious what.
And here's what pisses me off the most. Especially, like, we had here in Alaska, in Anchorage, we had really we had a
you know what really grinds my gears?
We had someone here in Alaska running for House who believed that we needed to start teaching about transgenderism in elementary school.
Oh, Jesus. They don't even know what sex is yet. You don't learn biology till what, 5th grade?
No, I haven't. You don't even jack off in elementary school yet. Like, come on.
You don't even learn about sex until you're at least in fucking, what is it, 6th grade now, something like that. Like, what the fuck?
Which it seems fucking ridiculous because they have such dumb, shitty views.
I didn't learn that until middle school, actually. Yeah, middle school is when I had the sexual bullshit where they tell you about where babies come from. Yeah, that bullshit. That was like in 6th, 7th grade, middle school.
3 of a kind.
7th or 8th, it was something like that.
I mean, the boundaries are being pushed so many times. Like, if you're gonna say, you know, why can't I say I'm a man when I'm a woman? Okay. Or if let's say you're 18 and you come to my bar and you want a drink, I card you. And I say, nope, you're 18. You say, no, I identify as 21.
That's exactly. Why are people allowed to identify things? That's a good fucking question.
So you say, okay, I can, and then an argument can be made. Well, you can't change that. You can't change your age. Why?
Well, and it's the same way with walking into female bathrooms if you're a man.
No,
it's the same thing.
It is true though. Even if you dress like a woman, if you are class
to walk into the female bathrooms in schools.
So if I say you're a moose, are you suddenly a moose?
I guess.
Hey, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, I guess it's a fucking duck. I mean, what else are we?
Well, and now you have people identifying as pedophiles. Like there's like a word for it. I don't know what it is, but they identify that they're younger, and that's why they like little kids.
Fucking own it, I guess.
I mean, if you're gonna do something, I guess fucking own up to it. I mean, shit. I mean, that's probably not the best thing to own up to. I mean,
no, there was
you've done up to like smoking pot first or something. I mean,
there was a documentary about this guy who's like 60 years old and identifies as like a 9-year-old girl. And
there are people that do that though.
Yeah, he got adopted by some parents. And these parents let this 60-year-old guy play with their 8-year-old granddaughter.
Okay, what?
This is what's wrong with the world.
This is child abuse. This is
yes.
This is what's wrong with the fucking world today. Hi, how are you doing? Let me play with your horn. Yeah, but we live in a day and age where it's just all gone to shit. There used to be more back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. There was, you know, even before that, there was, you know, guidelines that you didn't pass. Now there's just a bunch of bullshit and things going all over the fucking place.
Ooh. Oh. Sorry, that scared me.
I should have called.
And it's just because they keep pushing the lines. They say, well, this is like the last step we're going to take. And then they get there, and there's another step, and another step. And it just keeps moving on.
But eventually, there's not going to be anything left of what we used to know. You know what I mean? Eventually, it's just going to be what everybody else wants it to be, you know?
So why
things that are wrong are going to become right.
Two people. I interviewed two people from my college about, they were, what were they? Fucking, they were two gay girls.
The river.
And so I asked them, I said, so in the term LG, what is it? And I asked him, was it LGBTQ plus or whatever it is? I said, do you think personally that the T part of that needs to be aligned with the L, G, and B? And they said yes. And I countered and I said, okay. So as a lesbian, gay, or bisexual person,
I know.
You identify yourself
Whenever
as
you have it,
a
you have
man
to
who likes men or a woman who likes women. You know what your biological makeup is, and you know what you like. That's fine. But if you're going to say that you're not what you are, if you're going to claim allegiance to the opposite of what 60 plus, no, about 80 plus years of biological research has done, and you're going to say, no, I don't feel like that, no, I'm not going to call you that. I'm not going to agree with that.
Okay, but like, I mean, but earlier we were just saying that, okay, I personally feel like it is possible for people to change their gender, but I believe there's a difference between gender and sex. You can't change your sex. But if a man is presenting as a woman, for example, I'm going to call that person a she. That right there tells me in my mind that they've changed their gender.
What's the difference between gender and sex then, I'll ask you?
That's a good point.
Sex you're born with and you can never change it. Ever. Like, you either were born with a penis or you were born with a
that's
vagina.
funny, because I've seen people cut off their dick and become a woman and change their ID to their sex.
So what about
female? I mean,
what about somebody who's a guy? So I ride a Harley. If I go and get in a motorcycle accident tomorrow and God forbid I lose my genitals, that doesn't make me a woman. That makes me a guy who had a terrible accident.
Well, yeah, you're still born male, and that's relevant if you go to like the doctor, for example. But we were just saying earlier, like if I meet somebody who's trans, you know, and they like are obviously presenting as a woman or obviously presenting as a male, I will call them what I think they prefer to be called.
What the fuck?
And that means to me that they changed their gender.
Right. Well, and see, for me, I will respect it. Like, I'm about,
black lady.
You know, if you want to believe something, you can believe it. I'm not going to oppress your beliefs. I don't care. You know,
but
if you want to
believe
oppress
that,
your beliefs. Exactly. That's it right there. That's it right there. If they want to be
see, I
will respect that.
That goes back to the religion.
Whenever they
start
something
pushing onto you.
And
yeah,
but they use it as a token. That's what they use it as. Not all of them. Not all of them.
I went to a restaurant and my dad and I went to go to the bathroom and we turned the corner and both the bathrooms it was like half of the male and half of the female as the icon, and above it said whatever.
Oh yeah.
What about the race battle though? Here's a question.
Yeah,
I think the race battle that's going on. They have like everybody's a racist. How about that question, right? Here's a question for you. Here's a good one. I'm probably going to piss off some people, but here's a question. How come it's okay for a black guy to go into the city and say, Black Power, right? Just fucking big signs and, you know, everything else. But when a white man goes in there and says, White Power, he's automatically a KKK, and he ain't black.
I do have an answer for that. And
go for it.
This is, it's because, so, sorry. It's funny that we're talking about this because I'm mixed. I'm literally half black and half white. My dad is white and my mom is black, so I feel like I kind of lives on both sides of the spectrum there.
That's what I was thinking about, right?
I always used to ask the same question, and the only thing that convinced me was my mom, who is black, telling me about how when she was younger, she grew up in Texas, and people were racist towards her, like, all the time, just kind of like, you know, casually.
So, how come I get penalized for though, for my ancestors?
No, and I don't believe you should, I don't think you should be penalized, like, that's the thing, like, I really don't, like, I think the vast majority of people who
I feel like them saying
people always bring up the slavery.
Makes...
People always try to bring slavery into it, but you know what? People have been enslaved in different races for all of eternity.
Exactly.
Black people were available at the time.
And they were
enslaved
their country sold them to us. Their country literally said, "Here you go, have some black people." Like, I know that sounds bad,
but people telling you, like, like I didn't, like, my skin is very light, even though I'm half black, so I definitely didn't experience what my mom did. But she, like, if you experienced your whole life people making fun of you for something, anything, it really doesn't matter what it is.
And look what they
then
have
you might
now,
like,
I mean,
but you might then say, like, you know, no, I'm proud of that. You know, Black Pride.
They have every right in the world right now.
Okay, no, there's nothing wrong with Black Pride. That's not. I don't speak for him, but I don't think that's what he's talking about. Well, I think the problem is you have
what
people.
What I'm talking about is there's a difference between
like with the whole Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah. There's a difference between pride and power. When you go out there and say black power, literally, that's the definition of racist. You thinking that your race is higher powerful than mine. That's the definition of it right there. You thinking you're a superior race. Going out there and saying black power, that's, you know, in my mind, that's racist. I mean, that's...
What about that video of that group of black kids who kidnapped that white kid, beat him up, tortured him, and said, "Fuck Donald Trump, fuck you, you voted for Donald Trump, fuck white people."
Now, what about
that story wasn't covered. Why?
What about the politicians on the liberal side that make these racist comments? And no punishment.
How come
in regards to that specific event, that specific event was talked about by, on talk shows by black people, and they said, was this racist? Was this, and the black community, they were saying, no, I think it was just kids being kids, you know, I think they just made a stupid, bad choice. I'm like, fuck no. If the roles were reversed on that, hell would have broke loose.
Fuck, there would have been a fucking riot. Like, what the fuck?
But you can also think that, like, both of those things are racist, you know? Like, you know how sometimes people say, like, well, if this is okay, then why is that okay? And my response is always, well, that other thing that isn't okay either. Like, you know, like...
I just think that me voting for a president shouldn't make me a racist. Is that such a crazy thing to believe?
Hey, if I voted for Donald Trump, you know, why does that make me a racist? Why does it always...
A racist, Nazi, misogynist?
Right. And apparently I'm a rapist too, you know? Because I voted for a president, I'm a rapist.
Check.
Yeah. I just watched a video earlier today of a kid sitting in class with a MAGA hat, Make America Great Again, and like the whole class and the teacher, basically, like one of the students was like, you know, your hat really offends me in the middle of class, and the teacher was like, you know, Stephanie, I'm really glad you pointed that out. And like they all gang up on this kid and basically kick him out of the class.
Right?
It's not even a political slogan though. It's Make America Great Again. Everybody should want that.
I don't really. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but. Did you see, you know, before he was president, how people would wear, you know, t-shirts and stuff, and a group of black guys would go and beat the fuck out of him because he had a fucking support Donald Trump shirt on. Well, like, I'm just saying, how is that not racist?
Bush.
I mean,
remember, Bush was hated. No one liked Bush, but then now he's dead and everybody loves him, and people are talking about how he's so much better than Trump.
Welcome back.
Mark my words, in 30 years, Trump will be loved. Everybody will love Donald Trump in 30 years. That's
Here's my question, though. How come I talk about slavery and I talk about my history?
I can't get over it.
We talk about history, right?
I'll agree with you on that. Some of his tweets are pretty crazy, but
he's kind of stupid, but he does it on purpose. It's all about publicity.
No, and he's smart. He knows exactly how to get his tweets on live television, online.
He's doing it on purpose.
He knows.
He wants people to talk about him. The more people that talk about him, the more people, whether good hate or bad hate, it doesn't matter. People are still talking about him. It doesn't matter.
Bad publicity? I cannot.
I guess the reason for that,
it's good publicity.
It's because the environment, you know, here where I am, you know, is like a competition to see
who hates
Donald Trump the most. And if your hate for him is not sufficient, then people are like
no, this is true.
So it's like, so.
When I lived in California, I was afraid to even go vote.
That's a call.
You know, because there are mobs. There actually were mobs that were lined up and
beat the fuck out of you, dude. Like, no joke. Like, legit, you'd have like 5 fucking people come and beat the fuck out of you. Like, it's fucked.
But what?
Just for voting for our president. I mean, like, shit, I actually wanted to vote for him because I wanted to see if maybe somebody who doesn't do politics could make a difference.
And plus, Hillary Clinton, I wasn't...
Hillary Clinton had so many favors she owes. She'd be sucking dick in the White House for a good fucking 2 weeks. I'm just saying.
She lost me when it came to our boys in Benghazi. She lost the entire military vote when that shit happened.
Yeah,
but
look,
you're not winning anybody on that.
Everything he would do, everything that Donald Trump said he would set out to do, he had done. Except for the wall, he had done everything, Dan.
And he's trying. And he's
working on the wall.
He's actually trying, though. I mean, like, I don't get how...
And here's the thing, too, that... so recently, you know France and Paris, right? You know all those videos that came out about the military, that they were using tear gas and rubber bullets against their people? No one was upset about that. But whenever we have foreign invaders that are storming the border... Not
that group of 7,500 people?
Yeah. People are outraged because we used, tear gas to defend our border.
Yep.
But no one looked at France using it against their own citizens.
Like, that's fucked up. How come we can't stop people from coming into our country? Like, what the fuck? And what's with countries wanting to allow people to come? Foreigners.
Well, have you seen this new thing that the UN's doing?
My hand's
it's
gonna
be
there for a
illegal.
While, you know.
It's going to be illegal to criticize the immigration laws that are coming out.
that's like what is that book? 1984. Yeah.
Exactly. It really is. And in Europe, now they're getting internet censorship. They really are. They're becoming like China.
When I was younger, I thought I might move to Europe, but the censorship stuff is like now I'm like
it's getting bad.
I never want to.
No,
like,
there are governors
that
sorry, I'm not trying to talk over you. There are governors that want to let foreigners come in, and you know we feed them and we take care. How is that right? Like, what the fuck?
We don't. We have so many people on our streets that are struggling. Why are we letting other people in and giving them more than we are our own citizens, our own military members?
How come a Mexican? I'm just using Mexican because it's the closest border to us. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just saying it's the closest fucking border to us. How come one of them come over here pregnant, right? They come over, they're pregnant as fuck. And they get here, and then, bam, here comes the baby. The baby is now a U.S. citizen. How the fuck is that right? And it's not just with Mexicans. Chinese people do it too. They come over here, they pop out a baby, and yeah.
They do that to Hong Kong. They do that.
Yeah.
They come to Hong Kong.
Well, in Alaska, where I grew up, when I went to school, we had kids that they would bring those kids over. The parents didn't speak English. They never did anything for the community.
What do you have?
The kids never learned English themselves. Oh, Rubicon 8.
But did you know that the number of illegal immigrants in the United States went way up really 30 years ago when they started making legal immigration, really difficult, like a year-long process or more.
Like, I feel like if you want to come into our country, right, I feel like you should have to go through that. It's a long time.
No, I agree.
But look at what you get after that year. You get freedom. You get the ability to go out and get a nice paying job and do all that.
I agree, but I also feel like if your goal is to reduce the number of illegal immigrants in the United States, and you have $1 billion to do it, just statistically speaking, a wall is not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to dedicate resources to the screening process, so it doesn't take a year and a half.
Yes, but at the same time, I feel like a year and a half is a short price to pay for it.
There's no other country. There's no country. I got a visa in Japan. I had to get a visa in Japan. It took me a year. America's no different. Our immigration policies are very similar to every other country. People just think that we're so restrictive. Switzerland.
We're racist against Mexicans because we don't want them in. I mean,
exactly. Because other countries only want people that support their country. If they have citizens that can do the job for them, why not give the job to them? We're doing it. We're doing the opposite.
I want people in my country that are going to support our morals and what we want done and how we want it and things like that. I don't want people in here that are going to think the opposite direction. No. Do everything.
Because they come over here
and I'm a racist
they start flying the American flag and flying their own flag.
I'm a fucking racist for that. What the fuck? Like, how does that make me a racist?
You know that group of
people in my country that belong.
That group of 7,500 immigrants who was marching all the way over to the United States.
Yeah, marching.
They were offered sanction in Mexico.
With the news on that one, I wasn't.
But they didn't
really
take it.
Know anything about
I know. Mexico offered them sanction, and they said no.
And here's the thing, though. Their country, Mexico, is a horrible place to live. But why is that our fault? Why is it our fault that they took their country and made shit?
Why do they not care? If they care so much about their own country being awful, why don't they all get together and do something about it?
Exactly.
Look at France. Look at what Paris is doing. Look at what Paris is doing. They did a great job.
Look at
nice
all the gangs in
grassroots
Mexico.
protest.
You want your country to be better, fucking do something about it. Don't come running into another country. Go fucking balls deep in that shit and go fix it. Like, I'm just saying. Like,
okay, but like, I keep being the devil's advocate person, and I'm sorry, but I can't help it. But, let's say, for example, what actually happens is that, you get, like, families, single moms and their sons, and they're just people like you and me. But the son.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry no, it's not. It's not a guilt trip. What I'm saying is, I think that again, I really feel like I'm not saying that it's a good thing or it's okay to cross the border illegally, and I also agree that we should reduce the number of illegal immigrants in the United States. It's bad.
People bring their kids
it's breaking the law. But
people bring their kids to marches and riots all the time.
If they're actually, if these kids are actually their kids, I support that. That's fine. But what you see a lot of times is, especially with the media, they will report only the women and the children. These people bring kids, and they find out that they're not even related to these people that are bringing them. They're just kids for empathy. That's all it is.
And on top of that, what about all the... I know people say there's not drugs coming over the border, but what about all the fucking thousands of pounds that we seize every year from drugs being brought over, whether it's marijuana or not? I feel like, yes, marijuana should be legal, but I also feel like it shouldn't be coming from Mexico. I'm just saying... Like,
if we would legalize it here, we wouldn't have that problem anymore.
No, we would.
But
but
it
wouldn't be as bad.
Right.
If you want less illegal immigrants, the best way to do it, by far, is to make it easier for them to come in, not by relaxing the standards or requirements, but by dedicating more resources to the screening process so that it doesn't take as long.
But even still, you get
because then that's why
people in here that.
But you get way less, like way less.
It depends on their process and what they ask and the questions they ask and how hard it is. Because I feel like if you're gonna come into my country, I feel like you should have the same morals as we do. You want the same thing. You know?
I agree.
And instead, you have Mexicans that come over here and they burn our flag and they fucking put theirs up and they go, "Fuck you, America!" And yet they live right next door. You know what I mean?
And apparently burning a flag is freedom of speech. But like, try burning like an LGBT flag. See where that freedom of speech gets you.
Oh yeah.
I'll go do that
Here's
tomorrow.
a question.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Why did Obama take freedom of speech away at the White House, or not the White House, but the monument? If you go up there and you say, "Fuck you, America," they'll take you to jail. You don't have freedom of speech there. I shit you not. It's actually happened. Like, if you go there right now and say that shit, that law is still implemented. Like, for reals.
You know, that was one of the worst parts about being in the military, was that you didn't have freedom of speech.
You didn't at all, no.
It was like you couldn't, like, any news reporter could come up to you, "Hi, who are you, and if you're in uniform, who do you plan on voting for this time around?" You're like,
That's a call.
I'm not voting this year, sorry.
Are you going to vote for Donald Trump? Who's that?
I really
because if that happens, if you say, yeah, I'm going to vote for him, the next day on CNN, Navy votes for Trump.
That's a good point.
That should be expected anyway. Like,
not petty officer so-and-so votes for Trump, it's Navy votes for Trump.
The whole fucking Navy. I was actually, like, I know, like, I feel like I can fight my own, but I was actually afraid to go up to the polls and vote for Donald Trump. Because I just felt like, and there were people out there beating the fuck out of people, like, for real.
Oh, I would have loved to have been there. I would have whipped some ass.
But here's the thing, though. When they were having the riots, the people that wouldn't be bullied, like, they were, anti-Trump supporters that were coming there fighting people, if you were to stick up and fucking punch the motherfucker back, you got charged. Because every one of those fucking protesters wanted you to be charged for assault. But yet they're out there, and how come every time they protest, they gotta wear a fucking mask over their face, huh? Why do you have to hide your fucking identity if you're going to protest the right way, right?
We're just here to talk. All right, take your fucking shamag off.
Well, yeah, why are you here with a fucking big ass bat and a goddamn fucking Molotov? Like, I'm just saying, if you're here to peacefully protest, why the fuck are you wearing all this shit? Like, I'm just saying, there has to be a point where...
I know, I'm working up an appetite, thank you.
Up in Portland, it's like, I see videos like, a ton of those videos are from Portland, Oregon.
Oh.
A ton, most of them. When you see
I saw the ICE
thank you, my good sir.
Like, yeah, the ICE protest or Antifa, like, marching through the streets, blocking traffic. Crap them and take it place in the state.
This motherfucker over here has got a mod. How the fuck do you keep getting these levels and joints of fun? Fuck you. You know Jeff. You know the fucking program.
You guys are all banned here soon. Don't worry, I got it.
I've been recording for the last 2 hours.
I'm telling you though, we probably would get in trouble for having these conversations about racism.
Absolutely.
And shit. Like, if there was a black person, like, I'm not trying to be racist, but if there's a black person here,
I'm black.
I'm just saying though, us talking about our history and about racism and everything automatically makes us racist in their mind, and it's fucked up.
I don't feel like you guys are racist, but I mean, I do feel bad because you guys are talking about, like, okay, here's the thing. I feel like very middle of the fence on a lot of issues, and I worry that people kind of categorize me as like that liberal or that Democrat. You guys talk about like, oh, if I do this and I'm racist, but I don't think that stuff is racist.
No, I would say you're moderate, for sure.
I don't think you as anything. I just think we're simply having a debate. It's like debate class right now. We're simply debating on everything. Like,
it's amazing that how some mature adults can actually do that.
Exactly.
Now these 20-year-old kids, it is. I know.
You guys probably feel that too.
You're
like,
wrong. I'm
gonna
punch you in your face and run away with a black mask on. I'm just saying, like, the fucking shit's true.
The turn.
But you're right. The interesting thing about it.
You as a black girl consider the term colored people or people of color to be any different or prefer one to the other?
That brings up a good fucking question.
I do though. I remember.
Because colored people is offensive, people of color isn't, and I just thought that was weird. That's just my opinion. I thought, I mean, I just say black people, but apparently that's fucking racist. I can't say black.
I was just saying, I got my hands up.
Wait,
Can I ask a question? Here's a question. You're at work, right? You're at work, right? You're talking to a guy, and he's like, do you know this guy? And you go, are you talking about the short black guy? And immediately goes, yeah, that's who I'm talking about, right? I'm a racist for saying the short black guy. Not that he was short, but because I said black guy.
I can't count the number of...
Showdown.
You're like, no, you're fucking racist for that. Oh, you mean the short white dude from accounting? Yeah, that guy. That's fine.
When did it become racist for me actually saying a color? Like, white, black,
and
that's what we are.
We have to get rid of, like, in The Simpsons, they got rid of the poop.
Yeah, that was so fucked up, like...
They did what?
They got rid of
like a character.
Thank you, come again.
Indian, that guy. And they felt that we were being racist by making fun of him. But The Simpsons is like the most like they hate like they're racist to white people. Like everybody.
Their people are yellow. What the fuck?
They're all the same fucking
entire show makes fun of every single type of person, every single race.
I didn't know that. That's brutal.
Yeah, it was really sad.
That's like, alright, so here's the thing, right?
I was really disappointed that they bowed
Charlie
down
Brown, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
exactly.
can't
Do
watch
you know
it
what
anymore.
the Japanese did? So America, right? Americans, the DMV put out like 2,000 license plate that had Jap at the end, JAP. We had to fucking discontinue those fucking license plate. We had to turn them in because a bunch of fucking Japanese people said that was racist. You believe that shit? True story. Look it up. Google it. Like I shit you fucking not. It had JAP at the end, and we're fucking racist because
I believe
that's
it.
what we
All
had.
it takes is one person. All it takes is one angry letter. The DMV.
It's all
shit you not.
Exactly.
2,000. I
on the
think it was
internet.
like.
Oh my god, it's a natural.
It was like 2,000 something that had to be returned and had to get new license plate because it had JAP at the end.
That's hilarious. It's comical. But you're right, and I definitely like. It's frustrating for me because the political climate on the Democratic side, literally all my friends are like hardcore Democrats, you know, and like I don't know, I've kind of drifted away from it.
You can't have a conversation.
See, the Democratic Party is not what it used to be.
Yeah. It's too much like nobody.
How about we bypass all the political shit and just look at the country as being completely fucked up? The whole fucking system's fucked up. The way you vote is fucked up. You know, I mean, it used to be written ballots. You know, you'd turn it in, and it would actually make sense.
Well, the reason we have an electoral college is because there's a group of people who wants Kanye West to be president. I mean, we gotta check and balance something.
We had someone here, not in my city, but in another city here. There was a vote, and it was tied. It was tied between the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate. 4 days. 4 days, and they were going to flip a coin. That's like what it got to. But out of nowhere, a mystery ballot appeared for the Democratic candidate. No one knows where it came from. No one knows. And no one's investigating it.
5,000 mystery ballots that just fucking pop out of nowhere, and all of a sudden the Democrats win, or Florida wins, or not Florida, but I mean the Republicans or the Democrats. Either party
Arizona
wins.
too.
Like,
Arizona too.
The whole fucking system itself is fucked up. Like the way we vote, the way the country is ran, it's so fucked up. And there's a shit ton of people that feel the same way, but nobody has the balls to get up and say, "Fuck you, you're wrong." Like we're all
look at Arizona. Why did 100,000 more people vote in this election than did in the most contested, or supposedly the most contested presidential race of all time? Why did 100,000 more Democrats vote in this election than that one?
Really? I didn't know
a little
that.
fishy. Yep, 100,000 more. 30,000 more then
it's like
voted
these
for Donald
numbers
Trump.
come out of fucking nowhere, dude. Like the numbers they come up with.
It's ridiculous.
It's all bullshit, dude. I shit you not. I swear to God, this fucking thing. It's like this game, right? You notice how flushes and fucking shit comes out? It's like that. Mystery ballots come out. Oh, here you go. Here you go. We got a winner. You know, like the fuck, man. Like, and there's a shit ton of people that feel the same way that me and you think, or me and you think. But no, we're all sitting here fighting over one president. Why aren't we fighting about the goddamn system that's broken? Like, actually unite and fix the fucking problem instead of fighting over one fucking thing.
Yeah, why don't we just fucking think about our fucking country for one time? That's all.
That's like being mad at an ant and you keep killing these ants and you're fucking pissed off the ant, but you don't go to the fucking source and fucking deal with the source. It's like they're gonna keep coming if you don't fucking deal with it. Like, I'm just saying, it's not fucking rocket science. I'm just saying, it's real easy.
Ah, he's got 2 votes. I can feel it. But then the question becomes, like, voting, for example, everybody agrees it's a huge problem. But then it's like, okay, well, who's going to pay to fix it? Because the government is made up of 100 different, like, tinier organizations, like the FBI,
but what happens to our fucking taxes? Why can't our taxes money go to that? Why can't other different fucking money go to that?
I don't see where my tax money ever goes.
99% of the time,
all the roads in my city are so
we
fucked up.
don't have a guy whose job it is to do that. That's
and the turn.
Our schools are so fucked up. Our roads are so fucked up. Our system, like the entire city, is so fucked up. Where is our tax money going?
I'd love to know, because I'm telling you right now, it's not going to what they say they're going to fix. That's like my state, Kansas City, is working on rebuilding a airport, right? Our airport doesn't get used. Half of it doesn't get used, right? But they're saying they're going to take, what was it, $106 billion to make a new airport. Well, we don't even use the fucking half that we got. Like, the fuck? Like, it's so stupid.
I'm going to go smoke a bowl. I'll be right back.
I think I might just start smoking today. I shit you not.
I just got the same hand. I got the same fucking hand that I had last time. Same suit and all. Same suit.
What was the buy-in?
Don't worry about it.
What was the buy-in? Anybody know? What's the buy-in here?
The buy-in here, 5.
Oh. What am I at? See, I told you. Look, I'm at 12. I'm going to get to that 20.
Let me look.
Told you I'm going to get to that 20.
You got a ways to go.
How down am I?
You're up.
Let me click my hand over here because my hand's fucking. My battery's dead.
You're up 2,800.
Oh, okay. It works for me. But yeah, our whole system is just so fucked up, dude. It's ridiculous. And unfortunately, it's going to turn into a war that's not going to fix a fucking thing.
Here's the flop.
There will be a World War III. The only question is, are you going to be alive and am I going to be alive?
Well, as long as I got my M4 right over here, yes, I will. It's sitting right there in my rifle case with 4 mags and 1,000 rounds.
Anybody here, have you ever read All Quiet on the Western Front?
Yes, I love that book.
Okay,
I love
that's
that
what
book.
I always picture.
I heard it on audio.
A bunch of people not wanting to peek over and just sitting there. Hey, you got any MREs?
Yeah.
Player check.
But oh my god, I hope I never. I don't think that we'll ever quite have war like we did in World War I or World War II again.
Well, here's the problem though. We do. We have nukes. Like, here's the problem. Everybody's so fucking power hungry that everybody has nukes, right? So, what happens when somebody is pissed off at one country and they've been, let's say North Korea, right? Let's say for the last fucking 10 years they've been working on a nuclear bomb. Throw out a fucking myth, right?
Nuclear.
We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know, right? We wouldn't know if they were working on that. But what happens if they were to fire said nuclear bomb?
We would have about 20 F-35s on their way to go intercept that thing. At the moment it launched.
But you do understand, once that thing blows up, the radiation alone is going to kill a bunch of people.
Yes. There's, I could go into a couple types of weapons that we have that could possibly, theoretically...
haven't been tested. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the
there was a nuclear plant that blew up in Russia, I think it was, that's still fucking radioactive after, like, what was it, 100 years or some bullshit? Or not 100 years, but It
would just be. All it would need to be is it'd be a nuclear reaction from if they need if it was a typical bomb of uranium-234 and it went through an alpha emission, it would be tritium and fucking what would that be, thorium? And if you just have a type of plasma that can neutralize thorium, then you just got rid of all that radiation. But the half-lives will still exist, so you're right. Yes, because matter's not created or destroyed.
So here's
it's still
the thing,
going to be
right?
there.
It's gonna rain down on people. That's what's gonna happen when that thing blows up. There, it's gonna get into the actual cloud and it's gonna rain down.
Well,
on people. It's gonna fuck people up.
If they use a nuclear bomb, yes, that's why we invented hydrogen bombs. They're cleaner, but
it's not
it's
clean
killing.
It's not clean. I'm just saying. Look at fucking Japan. Look how fucked up we fucked them. Their kids are still coming out fucked up today. I'm just saying. Like, but then what? We get pissed off and nuke them, and then we have our 7th Fleet. He knows this. We have our 7th Fleet sitting outside, waiting for North Korea to make a move. Because if they do, we can level their entire infrastructure with that naval fleet in about 60 minutes. We have a battleship with a fucking railgun waiting to launch and destroy anything that leaves in like an airspace.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, especially not against the United States, because everybody knows that everybody States is the top dog worldwide when it comes to.
We are the most powerful nation.
He is right. We have like the best fucking military ever.
And not like, and it's not even close. It's like.
I think the closest would be Russia, but the only problem with Russia is they would turn it into a guerrilla war, and they would start using chemicals and bioweapons and shit like that. And that's
the only way we would ever get to like World War II stuff.
That's what happened. That could happen so easily. One guy could let's say he's a farmer or something. He's pissed off at the world, so he, all of his cows, he poisons them, right? Sends them off across the goddamn country, and everybody fucking dies from a goddamn disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of crazy how easy it could be to fucking fuck some people up. I'm just saying. That's like some girl had AIDS, and she ended up going to a rave concert and ended up giving like 200 people AIDS. A long ass.
Well, we've banned biological warfare, chemical warfare, and
right. You banned it, but what stops
you? Ban it. Yeah. What stopped? I mean, Hitler was slowly trying to take over the world, and he was like, "All right, I'm going to invade Czechoslovakia," and the neighboring countries were like, "No, don't do that." And he's like, "Okay, well, can I have a little piece of it?" Okay, fine. You can have a little piece, but don't do it. So he goes back to his country, and they're like, "Hey, I stopped the invasion of Czechoslovakia." And the guy's like, "Oh, guess what? Hitler just invaded Czechoslovakia." So he goes back and he asks Hitler. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Well, I'm Hitler. Fuck you. Now I'm invading your country." And you can't stop people from doing shit just because you make it illegal.
I feel like yes, we have nuclear bombs, but I feel like chemical would be like the one thing we can't really stop. There's really no prevention against preventing a shit ton of people. There really isn't. I mean, there's so many diseases out there that could there's a lot of diseases out there that are still in certain places that you could theoretically get and spread that shit across the United States. And
do you know how many? Are you fairly familiar with the periodic table?
That's a call.
There are numbers and countless numbers of chemicals on the periodic table, or elements, that are extremely toxic. I mean, the noble gases like xenon. You can use xenon gas and turn that into a bioweapon, and it will just melt you. It will melt your skin.
Right.
I mean, it's just replacement reactions that. It can be an acid, a base. It'll just melt you from the fucking inside. It's terrible, but we're like, how do we figure that out? We're like, yeah, that would happen. Let's use it. Let's use it as a weapon. People always want to turn shit into weapons.
That's true, though.
Like, you could use xenon gas as a very low energy source, but no, let's make it into a fucking.
There was a disease that spread and it killed like a shit ton of people. I can't remember what it was. It was like back in the 40s or something. It was a long ass time ago. But let's say somebody were to get their hands on that shit, it spreads like wildfire. There's no cure for shit like that, man.
Right.
Nope.
I feel like yeah, there's nuclear bombs, but I feel like if somebody was gonna attack the United States and you really wanted to fucking hit them where it hurt.
That's true.
I always thought, I'm pretty sure everybody's here seen Red Dumps.
Yeah.
Yes.
The old one or new one.
Which one?
I guess really. Yeah. So I mean, I think that would be. I mean, it'd be cool. It definitely wouldn't work. Right. But I mean, there are so many Americans in the United States that are waiting for that to happen.
Exactly.
I mean, if that you give them an inch and Americans will go a mile. I mean, they will. I think the American citizens themselves, with just the veterans, just the police, the people who have combat training, could take on another country by themselves.
Oh, yeah. Like if we got attacked today and they were Japanese right outside my door, they just landed in my area, I'd gladly grab my gun and go out there and go shoot some fucking Japanese. I'm just saying.
Whoever. Let's just say whoever, because we don't want to point out countries.
I could be considered a racist. I only said that though because we went to war with them before, and it made sense that maybe we would go to war with them again. I was just fucking, but I'm a racist for saying that, and I apologize.
Well,
I'm curious. I don't even know. I can't imagine what it would be like. Mostly because I mean, like the Afghanistan war, and the Iraq war. Those were both wars. They weren't really wars with the countries, in that we weren't fighting the Iraqi military. We were fighting independent.
Iraq is our ally.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes me wonder, what if we did officially go to war with another country now, in 2018?
Well, we had nine allies, and now we got rid of Russia, so now we have 8, right? I'm sure we have 8, right? There was originally the 9 allies, and then Obama got rid of Russia because Russia was trying to go to war with.
Russia's our ally.
No, they weren't. They were, but they're not anymore.
They are now.
90% of the time.
Did that get reinstated or something?
If Trump hadn't been elected to president, we probably would have been like neck and neck, like at each other's throats with Russia.
Here's the plot.
Because Trump and Putin, Putin wanted Trump to get elected because he knew Hillary was a fuck, and Hillary was not going to put up with Putin's shit, and it would have caused some pretty bad tension. Trump and Putin, they're kind of like the friends where we're like, look, man, we don't really like each other, but we kind of got to look good for the people. So let's get a job done and let's do it.
I know I've seen like pictures of like them, like they made pictures of them kissing and shit and stupid shit.
Dude,
that's so funny.
I was gonna be terrified if fucking Hillary got elected and we went to war with Russia. I was gonna be fighting fucking Spetsnaz, man. I don't want to do that shit.
Russia is a crazy country. Like I'm telling you, that is like the one country I would not want to go to war with. Did you see what they did to the fucking to the Nazis? You see what they did? Like the Nazis went in there, they raped them, and the Russian was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna rape you. You're men. I'm gonna rape all you motherfuckers."
Well, they were allied with them, and then Hitler stupidly. This is why he lost the war.
Exactly.
Was he started fighting the war on two fronts, and on that eastern front during the wintertime, he just got shit kicked.
If he would have fucking united and win it, you know how close we were to fucking possibly, or how close he was to possibly making that war his and possibly winning. Like, it was stupidly close. All he had to do was re-equip troops and stop going after 2 fronts and go after just one. Like, it was stupidity is what it was.
He had them on his side, and then he just pulled the trigger too early. His whole plan was to turn on Russia and take Russia, but he turned too early.
What he did, but the way he fucking did some of his shit was kind of fucking crazy, man.
He was a genius.
Up until he turned. He was kind of brilliant. He was kind of brilliant up until the point where he did that, and
The fuck was that noise?
Oh, your house is burning down.
No, it's my dog. She's in diapers right now. She's in the heat.
It's crazy though. One man changed the world forever. One fucking person. One dude changed the world forever.
Yeah.
Look at all the technology that came out of that. All the technology that came out of that war. A shit fucking ton. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why countries go to war, because a shit ton of technology comes out, and guess what happens when they make technology? They patent the shit out of it, and they make a crap ton of fucking money off of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad Hillary didn't get
me too. Fuck, I hate that gun.
I was worried that, my friends and I were going through, our, like, we'd see it in the galley, and we're like, oh God. And then, like, you know, and I'm like, if you guys realize that we're going to be the ones fighting the Spetsnaz, right? It's going to be the SEALs, the SWICs, the MARSOC, the Rangers, up against the Spetsnaz, and these fuckers, and I was like, you guys are dirty, man. I don't want to be fighting these guys.
Like, Russia is like the dirtiest country to go to war with. I'm telling you, they will not play fair. Like, I'm sure you not.
Like, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna like it.
Like, they will. I feel like if any country was gonna go chemical, it would be them. Like, I feel like they would. If they were losing, they'd say, "Fuck you! I'm taking you with me."
Well, taking you with. We're doing with Ukraine. I mean.
Yeah.
That's like one country I would not want to go to war with.
I mean, even in Vietnam itself, I finally met one of my classes over at the VA. I met a guy who was an OG SWIC. He was one of the ones in Vietnam. And I found out, I was like, oh, dude, you did what I do now, just in a different war. That's cool as hell. And he would tell me that when they went on, they would go deliver a SEAL team down in Riverine. They'd come back for pickup, and only like 3 of them would be there for extract. And I was like, good Lord, man. And I was like, and he'd ask me, is that everybody? And they'd say, that's everybody, let's go. Like, tap side of the boat and dip. I was like, that would suck. That was Vietnam. Those were some scrubs, man. Like, and you go up against these, you know, and that was in their home turf, was another reason why. If you go up against the Spetsnaz in their home turf, no, man. No, that's Simo Heha, you know him?
Yeah. Yep.
The deadliest sniper in history. He got like 640 confirmed kills as a sniper. That they were putting hits on him so that they could kill him. They were granting rewards, like cash rewards, to kill this guy. He was a sniper that preferred iron sights to a scope. And he would. Yeah, no, he would use and since it was so cold, he said he would eat snow all the time so that his breath wouldn't come out in a tree line, so he could keep quiet, or so he could keep low profile. Said the closest he ever came to dying was when they found out that he was there on the battlefield. They saw it was him, so they called in like hell and high water, mortar strikes, artillery strikes to get his ass down. He like got hit by shrapnel, and he got shot twice, but he made it out. I was like, this dude's a beast, man. But I've got to hand it to Canada. Canada now holds the world record for longest confirmed kill. That was
3 of a kind.
A 2.2 mile kill.
Canada doesn't have a big army. I think Canada mostly relies on us for a lot of things. Like, if we were to go to shit, Canada would be the second one to go. They'd go to shit too. Like, they rely on us a lot.
Canada's sniper that made that shot, that 2.2 mile kill, was with an American rifle.
Damn fucking straight, man. Fuck yeah.
McMillan TAC 50, man. That was like, nobody's pulling that shot off with. It's not American, man. If it's one thing we know how to do, it's how to kill a motherfucker.
In Canada, they actually watch U.S. news instead of watching their own news.
Oh, yeah.
Legit.
A lot of people.
If we go down, they're going with us. Like,
after being on VR chat, I've noticed that a lot of people from other countries are like very familiar with American politics.
Because they all
always
watch
feels so bizarre to me because I know nothing
CNN,
about what's going on
Fox
in Australia,
News, all that shit. Oh, yeah.
Did you guys see the, that March for Our Lives movement when people, talking about the shootings and everything?
Which, and, David Hogg guy is such an idiot.
Well, they were doing a March for Our Lives march protest in the UK to talk about U.S. gun control.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, well, that's not the first time that the British have tried to take our guns, but yeah, go ahead and give it a shot.
London's crime rate is almost just as high as it is in New York City. Their murder rate, with stabbings, with acid attacks,
what about the robberies?
Almost as bad as it is in New York.
If you walk down the street with your phone, they'll pick it up. Like they'll have mopeds. They have moped.
They have moped games that ride back and forth. They really have on your face. I'd rather get shot dead than be permanently disfigured for the rest of my life.
They will literally fucking take a bottle of acid. I've seen a documentary on. They'll take a bottle of acid and throw it in your eyes. Like legit, you'll go fucking blind for the rest of your life. They don't give a fuck. They just want your fucking $200 phone. Is all they want, dude.
But see, now they're trying to ban knives. They want to ban knives.
So it's like,
okay, so are we gonna ban cars? Look at what happened in Toronto with that.
So you're telling me I could walk into that country, slap somebody in the face, and now that country's mine? Nobody's gonna do that.
Yeah, all right. I'm surprised we haven't done it
yet. I was talking to a guy from the UK in VR chat, and he was saying to me, he was like, "Did you know that there are over 300 mass shootings in the United States every year? That's almost once a day." And I was like, "Well, I mean, if you include, like, for example, like, suicides and gang violence, and yeah, that's true, but Americans aren't just walking around being like, oh, look, another mass shooting right in my hometown, huh? It's still...
Yeah, I mean, are we going to talk about the 1850s and the Wild West and how many shootings there were a day then? I mean, I think it's significantly gone down in the last 2 centuries.
The thing that annoys me the most is that these statistics come out about, like, school shootings. But they include shootings that just happen to be on school grounds. Like, a criminal just happens to be on the playground at a school on a Saturday when no one's there, but it's a school shooting.
Yeah. No, exactly. But that's...
Or you have, like, a domestic disturbance on a college campus where it turns violent, and then they consider that to be a school shooting.
There was a group in California...
It's just another...
I feel like
there was a group in California, surprisingly liberal. They wanted to... They started a movement to, quote, ban high fire rate magazines.
I heard about that.
Jeez. You're going to try and ban something, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The Ohio News that NBC put out, it's like, look at this video of someone using an AR-15 to blow up a watermelon. You watch the video, it's a fucking shotgun.
That's a call.
So any pistol is a Glock. And anything else is an AR-15.
Here's an AR-15. Yeah.
They're all fully automatic.
Oh yeah.
If you've ever seen a fully automatic rifle and a semi-automatic rifle, there's a big difference.
Because one goes pop, 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 and the other one goes like I'm saying, it's a big difference. It's like
you can go buy a machine gun without a background check. It's like no,
no,
you can't.
Yeah, to get a fully automatic gun, you gotta get a license for that shit.
Yeah, you gotta get a class 3.
Oh yeah, it's
that shit is not easy.
And you can't. They don't. It's only the ones that were like what 1963 or something or before that were made. It's something 1960.
But yeah, you'll see a school shooting and the guy used a semi-automatic AK-47 and they're like, this kid used a fully automatic machine gun and just fucking blew them all to shit. Like it never happened like that.
Well, if a kid walks into a school with a
true.
If a kid walks into a school with an M1 Garand and there's that has an 8-round clip in it, by the way, and if he walks in, he's gonna shoot 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say he lands all 8 shots and hits 8 people. On that last shot, it's gonna go ding. You know you're out of ammo, so charge his ass. That was the one. That was such a terrible gun in World War II. It got so many people killed.
Can I just say the noise of that ding though? Best sound ever.
Oh, it's a cool noise, but it was a downfall in World War II. Like the U.S. riflemen would fire, and they would on their last shot it would go ding, and it was an alert to the enemy to say, "Oh, he's out of ammo. Let me go push up on him." And then while you're reloading.
That's a good point.
Fuck, nothing in there.
Full.
Shit.
Check.
You guys are cool. I like talking to you guys.
Oh, you all are fucking awesome, man. This is like the best table I've ever. I'm glad they unbanned me. I'm glad they unbanned me.
We had one guy the other day who came in and like we were just having a conversation kind of like this, and he came in and started like calling us names and shit because we were talking about Trump.
Oh god.
The crazy shit. They were calling us retards. They were calling us misogynists. And it's like, dude.
And yet I get banned for throwing pumpkins at people. Okay.
Well, that moderator that came in and sat down.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
That moderator that kicked me from the table yesterday, that like came in mad. She started going off on this guy because she won like 2 hands in a row, and she's like, yeah. She said some stuff, and the guy asked, he's like, where are you from? Where's that accent from? New Jersey? She's actually from New York, and she went off. She's like, how can you fucking How can you do that? You know, what's the difference between New Jersey and New York? There's a lot. How can you compare them? And the guy goes, they're 80 kilometers away from each other. Oh, she got so mad, man.
So she was a New Yorker and she was like embarrassed to be called in. Be somebody from
she wasn't embarrassed.
Yeah, they don't really like each other, do they? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we just she was kind of abusing her power when she kicked me and a couple other guys.
Oh really? And somebody
the admins on here
she kicked me.
Fucking dicks.
What?
I reported her yesterday to the owner guy, whatever his name was.
Jeff.
He's like, well, you're the first person she's ever kicked from a table. I was like, caught her on a bad day, I guess, because she came in pissed off. She didn't like that I took the cigar from her mouth. Don't let me be able to do that then.
Yeah, it's a game mechanic. Like it's like throwing pumpkins. They're free pumpkins. Like you know you're doing it. But
like if you don't want me to do it, maybe you should charge for each pumpkin I take out. Well, I'm just saying, there's a.
She was mad because it was the gold cigar, and she's like, that shit's expensive, okay? I'm like, you're not actually smoking it, and you don't actually spend money on that. Chill out. And the guy handed her a popsicle. He goes, chill out. And he fed it to her. And she goes, don't fucking do that.
It's like, if they didn't want to do it, why am I able to grab your cigar out of your mouth?
Did you guys see that video of that lady chasing a guy through a public forum because she asked him what his name was, and he was like, humongous? And she was like, that's inappropriate.
Oh, God.
You're harassing me.
People love like stretching shit out, like if you push, if you shove somebody, they're like, that's assault, that's assault, I'm calling the cops. And I'm like, oh no, you want assault? I'm gonna get a charge for assault. You're gonna get assault. I'm gonna beat you within an inch of your fucking life.
I got banned. No, I got banned yesterday, but before that I got banned again. Some guy came in. I was like, you look like an Amish Jew.
Yeah.
I said you look like an Amish Jew. And the admin was like, fuck you, you're fucking racist, fuck you, you wanna play this game, fuck you! And like, next thing I know, I was banned, and I couldn't come back for like a good day and a half, so,
See, but people, like, even people who do that, they still watch, like, South Park and laugh, you know, like, I don't get what their problem is.
Yeah. I love South Park.
I haven't liked the newest episode.
I'm so glad that they just like never bow down to anybody for like they just always make. That's why I was so disappointed in The Simpsons when they got rid of Apu. I was like, come on, man, stand up for yourself. Just grab your ankles on that one.
There was a lot of people that thought Family Guy was racist and everything else, and they never did anything. They didn't give a fuck.
Thought what was racist?
Family Guy.
Oh, Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy got. They went off air for a couple years and then they came back on.
Well, there was like the Cleveland show, which is basically a
within their
giant,
first like 4 seasons.
American Dad too. American Dad was the same way. They can be kind of racist as well.
See,
but
they're speciesist against Roger. Roger needs rights too. Who ate all the pecan sandies?
I'm just confused. I'm confused when like joking around turned into racism because like the definition of racist is me thinking my power is higher than yours. How does me making a joke make you think that my power is higher than yours?
See, the way that I see it, I mean, like a joke about like black people, for example, is obviously racist, but that doesn't mean it's not funny. Like just because.
Well, I guess it depends on the joke.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like race, like the fact that like you're making that joke automatically. But I guess what I'm saying is just because you're making a joke about somebody's race or somebody's sex or what have you, that doesn't automatically make it bad. Even if it's technically sexist or what have you, that's kind of the whole point of the joke.
Oh, what
and
about
if you're just saying it to put somebody down, then
that's a tough topic right there.
I'm gonna need to eat before we talk about that one.
I'm gonna need to talk about that one. That's a big one right there. Jesus hell.
See, it's like the same song, same dance. So it's like like people who identify as being feminists, and then people hear that and they think it means, for example, that they hate men, which is fair. Like I know personally feminists who like are legit man haters and they're totally unapologetic about it. But other people are feminists, and I mean, pretty much there's no really reason for them to call themselves feminists because their views are pretty traditional. Even a non-feminist would believe it, but. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the same thing as talking about income and inequality in between races. I mean, it's all right. I'm gonna trigger warning. It has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. So that's just my belief. That's just my belief. It has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. So I mean, if you can explain why 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the crime, and why the single motherhood rate in the black... Fuck! Damn it!
You got it checked, dude.
Here's the flaw.
Oh, fuck.
And why the...
we all know he has a great hand.
And
and you got 2 and a 3.
Please nobody all in.
Fucking...
Sorry, go on. I interrupted you to make
that
joke. You're talking about...
Player back.
See, you were gonna phone. You fucking cunt.
Or is it all a ruse? I just want this right here. I haven't made any money recently.
Fold.
Come on, no one's gonna call me on that? That's the biggest bluff I've ever made. I've been sitting here trying to fold my whole fucking day.
Fold.
Sorry. So, like,
damn it.
issue...
He's on to me.
There's women that will say that they don't have as many rights as men, but yet it's equal rights all around. I mean, you have just as much right as I do. You can do any sport you want. You can do anything you want in this world. So when did it come where we have more rights than you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think when people say that, what they really mean is that, you know, statistically speaking, there are certain ways men are disadvantaged when it comes to women, and also
if
women
it's
are
only 2
disadvantaged,
people
you know,
left, I can show you my cards.
You know? Like, if you're an attractive woman, for example, everything in your life is going to be, like, really, like, quite a lot easier than, for example...
Oh, yeah, because guys are going to hand you shit, you know?
Yeah.
If you got a six-pack and you got the body of Aquaman, you're going to get
you sneaky!
But, did you know that, like, for example, if your name is Tanisha, or if you're, like, a really overweight woman, your odds of getting a callback on a job interview are, like, 50% less than, like, a man.
You're over here trying to fucking force.
Yeah, exactly. Certain types of... And I agree, but I don't know. It's like... I feel like
so it's kind of like I
every
think
group
it's equal on both
Did that
things.
split that evenly back?
Yeah,
split.
Okay, I figured.
But there are some things that men suffer in more than women, and also vice versa. And like, but I hate it when you try to say, for example, you're like, men, for example, are much more likely to pay child support, and everybody's like, yeah, totally. And then you're like, also, women, for example, who have black-sounding names like Tanisha, are much less likely to get called back for a job interview. And people, but wait, what about also the ways, you know, in which, you know,
what about food stamps though, and what about fucking disability? Let's bring that up here. I mean, it's more likely if you're black to get disability and food stamps. It's a proven fact. I mean, you're more likely to get that because I guess our country feels like we owe them, even though that shit we did way in the past. You know, like, I don't get it. Like,
well, Native Americans get free education.
Free land. They get free land. I mean,
free land, free college.
Look at Alaska. Look at the Native Alaskans here. We can't even touch any of their land. We only own like 20% of the land in Alaska. All the rest of it is still owned by the natives.
How long does this fucking line of we owe? How long does it go on? When does it go, all right, look, we paid enough, fuck off, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like at some point in time, it's got to go, look, all right, yeah, we got your land, but we also fought for it and logged, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, back in days when everyone was fighting everybody for land.
But we bought you, and, you know, that's like me buying a vacuum, right? I bought the vacuum, I used the vacuum.
I mean...
But the guy who sold me the vacuum doesn't get yelled at for it. They get yelled at for it. Yeah. It's a good fucking way of looking at it.
Shut up, you fucking vacuum.
No, but look, different times. Why are we still being held accountable for shit that we did fucking hundreds of years ago?
Okay,
fucking even longer than that.
I have a response for that, and that is, I personally go back and forth on this issue, like. But the reason I go back and forth is because I know. So I grew up upper middle class, you know, like I'm half black, half white, like I said. But both my parents are educated, you know, so I was never disadvantaged as a child. But that said, I still know that statistically speaking, for some reason, black people and like certain other demographics are just way poorer, like just per capita. And I can't help but ask myself why that is, and you can't convince me that history doesn't have something to do with it.
I feel like it doesn't though. They have every right that we do. At any point, they can go out there, go to college, make a beautiful
And they do,
career.
and some of them do.
And they do. And they do.
But
you don't have to go play NBA or do whatever or become a rapper. Like you can go out there and become a doctor. You can go out there and become anything you want. Like, I feel like just because you decide to live in a not so good neighborhood, that's kind of on you. That's not my fault. I didn't
You're
force
right
you to live there.
I think you're right sometimes, like in a way, but I also believe, like, I know, for example, that because I grew up upper middle class, the odds of me succeeding in life are way higher than somebody who grew up in the ghetto, for example. Like, it's
but
not
how is that your fault? I mean,
it's not your fault, but it's still your problem. And I don't, no, not a problem. I thought you meant the other.
Your phone.
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say, I don't believe, like, I don't know what we should do about it. You know, I'm not saying I agree with like all the affirmative action programs out there, but I also know that it is not just chance that certain groups are still so much poorer by such a wide margin.
We don't force them to
affirmative
live
action. I don't have a problem with, but it needs to be distributed equally to anybody of any race. If you grow up poor, then you should be able to get that help. I agree with that. Yeah. But it shouldn't be up to race. Because I know plenty of white people. I know plenty of Asian people who grew up just as bad as some of these people who are coming out of these ghettos.
And it's
called white trash.
I know some of the people that have come out.
But if you say black trash, it's racist.
Look, but I've seen people that have lived in the fucking ghettos of places, in the poorest places, and come out and be fucking goddamn geniuses and become millionaires. You know, fucking happens.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen or that it's impossible, but if I were to, how do I say? I have to concede that because, for example, when I turned 18, my dad gave me a car. My life is way easier than somebody who...
But we do that, though. I mean, I say we as the government and everything. Our taxes, we give them money, you know, we give them jobs, we do everything. We supply them with a lot of shit. And then they go and they do gangs and they go out there and they do violence and they pretty much destroy their... You know, how am I...
There's so many jobs available around. The unemployment is so far down, but people are still complaining about not being able to find work. And it's completely bullshit. Just because it's not the job that's making you $200,000 a year,
exactly.
That doesn't mean that there's not work. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere.
And I just don't see how my race, I say my race because I am white, how that's our fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have every single possibility that we have. You have every right. If you grew up poor, you can always move. You can always go to a better station. You know, if you're living in that area, there's a reason. It's because you don't have money, but you can always change that. You can always do different things. You can go to another location. You
Especially in some of these cities like Chicago, they're opening up warehouses, they're opening up factories. There's plenty of jobs. But they're not
like Amazon. Amazon just fucking offered a shit ton of fucking jobs to everybody at like fucking $18 a fucking hour.
Yeah,
I gotta share.
See, there you go.
Oh really? I mean, congrats. Woohoo, money.
18, not bad. You're making more than me. Hell yeah.
Hired at Amazon. Yeah.
But you're working.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I make 15 an hour, but I make enough to get by, and I make enough to do me, and I'm not living in the ghetto. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not our fault that your area is in a bad place. You can always change that, and it's not the white people's fault. And it's nobody's fault but yourself.
I personally believe that the United States should invest more money in social care. Period. You know, for everybody, like you said, regardless of race. And I emphasize when I was like a teenager. You know how I said I'm half black, half white. You know, white dad, black mom. My so. The NAACP, which is the National Association of Something Colored People, I don't know, like they regularly, you know, if you're in high school and you're doing well in school, they invite you to these like events where all the black students in school would be invited to like, you know, go get an award for academic achievement or whatever. And so literally they have all the black kids on a bus about to go to this event. And my dad, who was white, wanted to ride the bus with us, and they said he couldn't. They wouldn't.
But if he did, he had to sit at the back, huh?
Funny how times have turned, right? Weird. Funny how that works.
But I, as his daughter, was about to go get this award, you know, someplace out of town, and I wanted my dad to go with me, and they wouldn't let him. He said he had to drive separately in his own car.
See, I feel like I feel like as much as they want to blame us for being racist, they're just as equally racist. I'm just saying.
Oh,
like I
absolutely.
feel like if not maybe even a little bit more, because they feel like we.
Well, and see, here's a trigger warning right here. In my opinion, though, liberals are far more racist than Republicans. 100%. Their policies are meant to keep people in poverty. I mean.
Check.
Got a point.
Check.
I just but back to the whole healthcare and disability. There are people that are not, not a different color, but maybe they're white, who actually have disabilities, who are actually fucked up, who actually need help, and a group of black people go in, they got nothing wrong but a fucking fucked up thumb, and they get it because the government feels like we owe them, and
well, same with illegal immigrants.
Yeah, same way. We
take better care of them than we take care of
our own
ourselves.
fucking people. Oh yeah.
Phone.
It's fucked up. It's fucked
what
up
do you
time
do?
We live in.
Sit around, pull a slot handle, and eat fry bread all fucking day.
I see it all the time. I've been to casinos down in California, and you see them. Like you can tell they don't live here.
They're in their pajamas,
and they're using their money,
and they're in their slippers, and they're living fucking life happy.
They're betting. I'm in there betting like maybe like $200-300. They're in there betting like $5,000. Native Americans. The Native Americans are the worst.
Oh yeah.
In that regard.
I never.
Gotta hand it to them though. Fried bread is fucking good. You ever had it?
I'm actually Native American too. I'm actually like 50% Native American. So, but even still, same way, I'm actually agreeing with the white people because I'm on that middle ground, but at the same time,
I'm just saying, I go to these casinos that are on these Native American grounds, and you see them go in there, and they just blow their money. They're, where are they getting it from?
Where
I go into this one casino
from our taxes. Our taxes are paying them. That's what's happening.
Yep.
Wonder where our taxes are going? There you go.
They get free healthcare.
Yep.
I
know they lost me do.
Here's a question. How come Australia, if you have cancer, guess what? It's all paid for. You're going to get the best help you can get no matter what because you live in Australia and we care about you. How come in America we're going to charge you fucking $400,000 and not fucking save you? That's kind of fucked up. I'm just saying. It's kind of fucked up. I shit you not. In Australia, if you live there, you get free healthcare, and on top of that, you get cancer. It's all paid for. It's all good.
And on top of that, you get cancer.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, if you were to get cancer there, at least they care about you, and you don't have to go to a fucking shitty ass doctor who doesn't know shit about cancer. And I'm just saying, kind of fucked up. I feel like we should have equal health care and not, hey, let's give it to the Indians because we fucked them over, I guess.
Native Americans, not Indians.
Native Americans. My bad.
Okay, so
you mean Native American like Elizabeth Warren? She's Native American.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys know why the terminology between Indian and Native American, right? Why it was one and not the other. Okay.
At the end of the day, no race owes any other race anything. I'm sorry, but the times have turned. And look, shit happened in the past. We can't control what happened. Our ancestors did some fucked up shit. But I'll be damned if I'm going to be held responsible for what my ancestors did. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, no, that's why I feel weird about it. Because, I don't feel like it's anybody's fault. But by taxing people to pay for programs like that, it is, in a sense, a punishment. You know what I mean?
It is. They're punishing us for something that our ancestors did. And here's my question: when does it stop? When does it go? Okay, we paid you trillions of dollars and trillions of dollars, and we've given you everything that you could ever possibly need to succeed.
I knew you had
in
something
life.
good over there.
When does it end? When does it stop?
Yeah, like I said, I really just feel like it's funny. Here's something kind of controversial. I agree with you guys, but something I've noticed with the Republican base more is that they're much more averse to socialize, anything, healthcare, food, housing.
No, and
social programs
I can agree with that.
And
I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go heat something up real quick, and then I'm gonna come eat. And so I'll just eat while I play.
Okay. Well, and I agree with you. It's just the same way with marijuana. Legalizing that would solve we would spend so much less money on
The flop.
God, the word left my
Check.
head.
But again, it's also a gateway drug. As much as y'all don't, or not y'all, but people don't want to admit it, it's still going to lead to cocaine and other, and it's not always going to be the same result for every person.
But you can say the same about alcohol, though. Alcohol, it doesn't.
I feel like you're right. You're right. It's all wrong.
You know, and alcohol is one of those. You know, you can become an alcoholic, never touch any other drugs ever, and ruin your life. So, you know, it's one of those things where if one's legal, you got to legalize the other.
And how do you feel about the government spending a shit ton of money on enforcing? Because all of these drug laws are mostly federally enforced by the DEA, which costs a shit ton of money.
I know you can't see it, but I am definitely jerking off.
The DEA is funded by taxes. Same with like state prisons, for example, which is the vast majority of who enforces drug crimes. So, you know, you say like, oh, it's a gateway drug, but I mean, A, I feel like you should be able to, you know, do drugs if you want, and B, I don't want to pay to bust other people for doing drugs because I really don't give a shit if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, I don't think that we should be, you know, legalizing like meth. But like, you know, there's at one point or another, like, I don't know.
River.
Yeah, I don't know.
But again, one of the biggest problems too is they have like these opioids that they'll give you at the, you know, hospital. But they're so damn expensive that eventually you can't stop paying for them anymore. So people start turning to meth.
Yeah.
Raise it.
Man, this is turning into a really big pot.
Oh my god, what are we doing? I thought you're nice. Go ahead.
What do you got? Show me your cards. I'll show you mine. You show me yours.
What? No.
I don't think she's bluffing. I don't think she's bluffing. I'm bluffing.
Ooh. Dang.
Yeah.
Nice.
I told you I didn't think she was bluffing. I didn't think she was bluffing.
I'm an honest person.
I lost some money there, but I'll get her back.
Back in this paper now, you know?
Paul.
You know, as much as poker's supposed to be about skill, this game right here is completely luck. Completely.
It is. It is.
That's a compliment.
You know, if you know, there's so many times where all
this is actually gambling.
The pot.
This game right here is gambling. It's not poker. You can call it poker all you want, but it's gambling. That's what it is.
Yep.
There's no strategy.
There's so many times where I'll be one card out from a straight or a flush, and I'll just wait for the river, and it always comes up. 90% of the time, I'll get it if I just wait it out.
Oh no.
That shit doesn't happen in real life. Look, in real life, if I have a 2 and a 3 in real life, I'm folding. I don't care. I'm folding. If I have a 4 and a 6,
I would never
I'm folding.
keep a 2 or a 3 here. No.
Fuck no. Anything below 10, I'm not going to keep. Now, I have a thing for 5s and 10s, because I feel like 5s and 10s I have good luck with. So if I had like a 5 and, let's say, an ace, I'd play that. Anything with an ace, really. If I have an ace and something else, I'll play that. Anything with a queen, I'll play that. Anything with, you know, all the way down to a 10. But if I have like a 7 or a 9 and a 7, I won't play that. I won't do it.
Right.
And this is how I do it. Now, I don't tell people I play against that, because that'd be dumb.
Check.
But, yeah. Let's see here. What do I got?
Check.
Go on.
I got an itch. My tattoo's hurting. Got that shit done like 2 days ago.
Where?
I got a half sleeve. It goes all the way up my... Yeah, it's all tribal. It goes from my elbow.
Oh, it's been a while since I've been at this this level.
Fold.
I can't see anybody yet.
It's been a while since I've been at this
Oh, what up?
What's up? I should probably get another battery for my left hand. Oh wait, it's working now. Okay, maybe not.
I gotta look cool.
Did they not kick him out and see?
Which part did you do the tattoo?
Huh?
Where did you get the tattoo? Which part?
Oh, I got from my elbow. I know you can't see my arm, but elbow up. It goes all the way around my arm, and it goes up, and it goes around my shoulder. It was like $500, and took like 2.5 hours.
1, 2, 3 people loading for me.
Player checks.
I wanna.
You should.
Nope, there you are.
You should.
Here's the
the internet.
Yeah, I think my internet's acting up lately. It's real weird.
Check.
Freaking Comcast.
Player checks. Check.
Little
trouble there.
One more hand, and then I need to do something else.
Aww.
Yeah. What?
I'm gonna miss you, unicorn girl. I'm gonna miss
I wish I had a unicorn.
I heard it was good luck to rob a unicorn.
Yeah, and then magic milk comes out.
Oh fuck yeah! Wait, what? It does? Oh shit!
Never seen that robot chicken episode?
Oh my god! I remember that.
I've been watching this show so long.
They don't do it anymore. I don't think. I don't think they have robot chicken.
I don't think they do. Oh god!
I
think
they
re-air
it
sometimes, but that's about it.
I think it probably because somebody complained because something was racist. I'm just saying.
Out of like the 12 seasons they have.
The flop.
Oh.
Check.
I'm a little scared. Is that why everybody's checking?
Always like that. Always make people scared at the table. Right?
Player checks.
No one's got dick except that guy.
He ain't got shit.
Bet.
Oh shit.
Right.
See a magic trick?
Oh my guys, I'm going to
Bye, unicorn lady.
Bye.
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 Good luck.
Oh, he's sitting out. I was like, why is this fucker just staring at me? I always hate that. The sitting out feature's so weird.
So who's got balls? Who's calling?
$1,000.
Did he freeze?
There we go. Okay, I'm back.
I've never seen that in VR ever. Like you need to get some new internet, dude. I swear to you, man.
What happened? Did y'all see?
You were at 2,000.
Yeah, my shit froze, and if I moved my head, the whole world moved with me. It was real weird.
Oh, that always makes me sick instantly.
Oh, it's terrifying.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Man, you're gonna take all my digital money, man.
Call. That's a call. Showdown. Full house.
Oh, he had 7. What was I rolling with? Oh, I was hoping for a
you had mods.
Flush.
Fucking suck my dick. That's bullshit, yo. That's bullshit.
Pocket 7s. This man is the lucky one.
Dude, you need to go play the lottery, I'm telling you, because you've had some fucking kind of luck, dude.
Hey, lottery, he's winning at
We don't
poker.
have the lottery
He plays
here,
lottery, he's gonna lose.
No, this is gambling, dude. This isn't poker.
Hang on, I gotta adjust the old table. Raising? Fuck, what do I even have? Okay,
it's
sure.
like playing slot machines. You know, it's all computerized, so you can't...
It's all about reading people and their weird motions in their VR. See a guy just go like this.
Oh, fuck. I'm supposed to go to bed right now. I'll stay up for another 20 minutes. Gotta be in at work at 4:30.
On you.
Yeah, I can't believe it's like 5.
My...
Holy shit.
No, it's 7:12 where I'm at.
That's a call.
Jeez, it's 7 where I'm at.
7:12 where I'm at.
Call.
Oh, look, we're in the same area.
Where you at? Where you at, buddy?
I'm at Minnesota. What are you at?
Return.
Missouri, my dude.
Oh, man.
We're cool now. We're buddies.
We're cool.
We're
cool.
Time Central.
Super cool.
Time Central, buddies.
Time zone buddies.
Time zone. That's what I was looking for.
There you
Thank
go.
you know.
I think they changed that shit, though. They changed it. It's real
What?
weird, because...
The river.
I don't know. They did, though, because I freaking fired up... I bought a Switch, so I got a Nintendo Switch, and all of a sudden, it was saying all this crazy shit, and I'm like, I don't know which one I am.
Yeah, we're Central, bro. And so now you know. That's why I was saying Central, Time Central, because...
Yeah, right? It should be Central, but they changed that shit. They just...
No, we're...
Yeah, we're Central. What? The old school way. Now there's new.
You win.
Don't worry, I'll pop your balloons for you.
Oh, yeah, you pop those balloons. Hey, give me a high five. My controller died, so that's why the hand just...
Oh, that's... I just thought you had a question.
No. I did a few times, but I'd go a little higher than that.
Yes, your 2 pocket 2s, you should go all in.
That fucking helicopter's annoying as hell.
Anybody you gotta stop that. Oops, that almost was a fold.
It's like the music at the fucking old Western fucking bar.
Oh yeah, the Western one. I finally played that
shit.
like last week, and I was like,
I hate that one point where like they overlap, like with the new. It starts playing again before the first one's over, and it's just like.
Player chat.
I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. It's annoying.
I'll definitely have to mute that.
Here's the turn.
Oh, we all checked. I'm surprised.
Though? Who's got the straight?
For real.
Who's got the 10?
Player bets.
Hey, Booty. How you doing, buddy?
I hope a 10 is on the freaking...
Hey, you've had a cigar in your mouth for like a fucking hour, dude. Let me get that out for you.
Yeah. You gotta wipe your nose after that one. What the hell?
Player folds.
Oh, hey, Lee.
What up?
How goes it, man? We were playing yesterday?
Goes, broski. Yeah, that's funny that we actually joined the same tables.
Still got... Okay, we lose anybody? Oh, no, we lost my Instagram girlfriend. Damn it.
Oh, yeah,
Instagram girlfriend.
It's alright, I jacked off her unicorn for you, dude. I got you, bro. She was really
He's like, that was
you know what I mean. Pun intended.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, I need to sit in. Come on. Let me play.
Your hand was just right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, where's my pasta?
You got pasta? Oh man.
Heck yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
Anybody else smoke while they use the VR?
No, I only digitally smoke, bro.
Nah, see, that's why you gotta get the warranty, bro. I don't give a fuck what happens to this thing, man. Like, literally, I could just face plant on the fucking ground and they'll give me a brand new one. Like, it doesn't matter.
Oh, man. I don't even remember if I bought the warranty. I hope I did.
It was like $70. Oh, the Oculus comes with a 2-year warranty already, so you're good.
Oh, yeah? Really? I got the 5 Pro, so I don't know what I bought.
With a 2-year warranty, so like, if you break that shit, you call the manufacturers, they'll get you. They'll hook you up.
It's nice to hang with you.
But that's only for mechanical.
While you sit in my lap.
If you drop it in the toilet because you were